Yo, what's up everybody, and welcome back to another Madden 15 online game. Today we got the Cleveland Browns and the Minnesota Vikings. And unlike tomorrow's game, Adrian Peterson is actually playing in this one. And when we're playing with the Vikings here, there's no other way to start the video than what in the world is going on with Adrian Peterson. He just got deactivated by the Vikings. This guy is the franchise of the Vikings. And they did not hesitate to deactivate him. He didn't even hesitate to surrender after charges came of him, having like child abuse charges for like hitting his son. So it's just so this is the last thing the NFL needed, because not only are they getting screwed up by this Ray Rice situation, it's just like biting them the ass the way they handled that whole situation. Now all of a sudden, not just a player, but one of their star players, Adrian Peterson, gets into some definitely not some good trouble. This is not a good look for, public standpoint for the NFL. It's actually horrible. Absolutely horrible. And AP, who knows when he's coming back? I mean, he's missing this week, but who knows what's going on in that situation. He did turn himself in, and he got released off of bail, so this might be for now 1 week thing until due process goes through. But the Vikings, I mean, in a world where teams don't really react swiftly to things like this, and they just, let due process play out, and they want to keep their star players as long as they can, they just shut down AP. Who even knows who the backup for the Vikings is right now? Because Toby Gerhardt's in Jacksonville right now. So, I mean, this is just a mess for the Vikings. And they just won their last game. The good thing for them was, AP wasn't exactly stellar running the ball in their first game. They didn't have to rely on him 100% to beat the Rams, which, is pretty surprising, because, you would think the Rams pretty good defense, you need to rely on AP. But Castle did good. Cordell Patterson had some pretty nice plays. So the Vikings, they might have an outside chance of still beating the Patriots, even though they are the Patriots, and the Patriots usually don't lose back-to-back games. So, I mean, they already had, kind of a long shot to win that one, but, that's definitely down the drain with AP gone. But, I mean, this is just the last, I don't know, it's just so out of nowhere. Now, the whole situation itself with Adrian Peterson, by the way, this is a subscriber game. I'm playing a sub here, and early on, this guy, you could tell he wasn't the greatest opponent of all time, and I was like, you know what, I'll just force Adrian Peterson down his throat, just like the way that Adrian Peterson forced that, I forget what they call this thing by exact term. By the way, I threw a pick here. I was just like experimenting with the route. I didn't realize it was zone. Threw the pick, but I actually scored in this play anyways, as he spins backward into the end zone and gets me a safety and 2 points. So that's definitely a mistake by him. That could have been a game changer. Could have kept them in the game and stuff like that. Instead, we get possession, and it's like, all right, 2 extra points. Hopefully we can get a touchdown here. I almost got a touchdown that return. That return was looking like a top 10 play potential. But yeah, so this whole thing, like I said, I forget, like, he was like some tree branch or something like that. I forget the exact term they were calling this thing that Peterson was hitting his son with. But I mean, some people are like, yeah, we used to hit our kids in the 80s and stuff like that back in the day. It's nothing. That kid should take it. And I mean, I got, hit when I was a kid when I did something wrong. But when you check out the pictures of how AP's kid was looking, AP's kid didn't just get beat. AP's kid got abused. He had, like, scratch marks all over him. And I never, thankfully, the belts I got hit with never left scratch marks on me or anything like that. That's too far. That's too far. Disappointing a little kid? I mean, like, you gotta have some chill. Like, straight up, you just gotta have some chill when you're dealing with your, not just a kid, but your own, like, kin, So, it's just a messy situation, and I'm not going to defend Adrian Peterson, because honestly, what he did was not right. Because some people kind of are. Some people are like, this is nothing. Our society today is so, watered down and so soft. No, what AP did was wrong. I mean, I don't have the facts. I can't tell you the facts, but from what I see, I don't know. I could not find a way to defend what Adrian Peterson did just now, and he is guilty as charged. Now, is he going to go to jail? No, I don't think so. He didn't, knock the kid unconscious. He didn't Ray Rice his son, as we get a nice bait here. But what he did was still bad, and he's probably going to, be put on probation and stuff like that. I'm not sure he'll get a suspension from the NFL. He might. The NFL might need to suspend him just to look good for public image and stuff like that. Roger Goodell might need to, lay the hammer down just to, make himself look good out there. And AP might just damn well deserved that's like a 2-game suspension or something. But that's it, nothing too big, just a little light thing. But the fact that the Vikings are holding Adrian Peterson out right now probably reduces the chances significantly of him actually getting suspended. I thought they suspend AP after the Vikings kind of took matters into their own hands. So you definitely got to, you know, give 2 thumbs up to the Vikings for not putting up with this whole situation. No matter who the guy is on the roster, he's the big money guy, he's the franchise, and they put him on the bench as soon as they could. Just, you know, doing the right thing, which you don't see too often. So, you know, once again, kudos to the Vikings. Though, I mean, definitely this Ray Rice thing probably had a slight part of, you know, influencing the Vikings to do that. They probably, you know, just the way things are going right now, and there's no denying, you know, it has to be. It's just such a big deal. But we'll step aside from that Adrian Peterson situation, and we'll hop into some week 2 NFL predictions. I didn't get to do this for week 1 because I was just so busy last week and I had laptop problems and stuff like that. But here we go. These are some of my picks right now. I had Pittsburgh beating the Ravens. That didn't happen. But anyways, I got the Redskins beating the Jaguars. I think that I don't know. I think from what I saw from the Redskins game, that loss against the Texans was kind of flukish because on the road they were playing pretty well. They fumbled 2 or 3 times in the game, including like once or twice like in the red zone area. Houston got a touchdown off of a blocked punt, and they only beat the Redskins by what, 8 points, I believe it was. So I mean, it's not like the Texans laid it on the Redskins. Redskins beat themselves, definitely. So I think the Redskins can beat the Jaguars at home, you know. I think they can get it going. RG3 actually gets some passing touchdowns in the game, maybe 1 or 2, maybe even a rushing touchdown. So yeah, next game, Bills and Dolphins. That might actually be a pretty good game because the winner of that game is going to be leading the NFC East, or AFC East, I mean, because there's no way the Jets are beating the Packers. So whoever wins that is going to be 2-0 and up in the AFC East. So that's kind of a low-key big game because both those teams are trying to, you know, get something going this season. They want to give themselves a legitimate shot, and I think the Bills will be the team that gives themselves the legitimate shot. Dolphins, you know, they just beat the Patriots, so they're looking good right now. But I don't know, the Bills at home, I feel like that home crowd is gonna be, you know, rocking that stadium, and I don't know. It's even though they, you know, it's like odds are stacked against them, no Kiko and stuff like that. People are skeptical about EJ Manuel. I don't know. It's just, you know, the whole situation. They're staying in Buffalo. So, I don't know, I feel like that's going to be some, like, good wave of momentum they could ride to a victory. And I don't know, just the Dolphins are just an inconsistent team in general. They, you know, just when you think they got it put together, they don't got it put together. The one thing that you would think about the Dolphins that wasn't working for the Patriots last week was the offensive line situation. If they got it fixed, then that's a big deal for Tannehill. But also, you know, now Tannehill has to perform. His offensive line is doing good, so we'll see if that works out. But that No-Shot Moreno dimension added to the Dolphins, if he continues to play like the way he did against the Patriots, maybe No-Shot Moreno just loves the Patriots, but that could be big. That could be big. But I do have the Dolphins winning a close game. I think it's going to be good. Another close game this weekend that's definitely going to be fun to watch is Falcons versus Bengals. And I got the Bengals winning the game. I think, you know, the Bengals went undefeated in home last season, so they definitely like playing in front of their home crowd. But, you know, even though it's a tough defense, you know Matt Ryan's going to bring his A game because that's just what Matt Ryan does. I mean, I remember last season, they were playing Matt Ryan had no offense at all, and he nearly beat, like, basically himself, nearly beat the 49ers. But unfortunately for him, he couldn't pull it through on like Monday Night Football. But they were close. And it's just, you know, what Matt Ryan does. I mean, obviously he didn't do it every single game last season. There was some where he didn't look as good, like some of those Panther games and stuff like that. But, you know, I think now that Matt Ryan has his weapons, it'll definitely be a close game, even though the Bengals defense is the Bengals defense. But in the end, you know, I think, you know, that home crowd momentum and stuff like that could ride Cincinnati to victory. But, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if the Falcons pull it off. I wasn't too, you know, confident in the Falcons this season to make the playoffs. But there's still, you know, the doubters are still out about their defense. By the way, here, I just lob past this. Maybe I bullet it. It's not an interception. Once again, subscriber game, just trying stuff out. That definitely didn't work. And ends up being a pick 6 for Carlos Dansby. Not a big deal since we still going to have a 44-point lead. Well, yeah. So that's the whole situation with that game. Falcons defense, you know, like I said, still doubters out there. Saints and Browns, that might be a low-key close game because Drew Brees outdoors hasn't exactly been the best situation for the Saints lately. And the Cleveland defense is still pretty good this year, as far as, you know, you can tell, even though they didn't look too good against the Steelers in the first half. But, you know, I can't go against the Saints against the Browns, right? right? I think the Browns actually beat the Saints the last time they played, but I can't go against them. I can't go against Drew Brees and stuff like that. Not that they just lost, because, you know, it's hard for them to go 0-2, so they definitely need this game. And they're going to be playing with a little bit of desperation. That should be able to propel them to victory. Anyways, the Cardinals over Giants. Not going to waste too much time over that. Cardinals win the game. Giants blow. As a Giants fan, it sucks to say, but, I mean, offensive line still looks bad. Eli still looks off. Or, you know, just offense in general just not looking too good. So, yeah, you saw AP get a nice touchdown run there. Not going to waste too much time with that. Cardinals are a really good defensive team still. I mean, maybe not as good as last year. The Honey Badger is coming back this week as far as I know. So, you know, as long as Carson Palmer doesn't goof, which he might goof in this game, then, you know, Cardinals on the road over the Giants, I would take that. And Titans over Cowboys would be another one I take. NFC East, I don't feel too good about the NFC East this weekend. I got the Colts over the Eagles from Monday night, because once again, I don't see the Colts going 0-2. They're home. Andrew Luck. It's going to be a good game, and I definitely wouldn't be shocked if the Eagles win it all, because they're good. But I don't know. I just feel like the Colts will just have enough what it takes to, like the Saints in a way, be playing with desperation and get that victory. Cowboys over Titans, I just think that it'll be a close game, but I don't know. I just think the Titans, they'll just have enough to win, but that'll be another close game. That's another toss-up game. I'm just taking the Titans for that one. We'll see how that goes. Titans. Detroit over Carolina. I would take Carolina in that game. I mean, the Lions look good Monday, but Stafford against a really good Panthers defense, I'll take the Panthers defense over the Lions offense, and that's basically what I'm taking the game on. I mean, the Panthers offense not going to be too different than it was last year, even though they did lose Steve Smith. I mean, Kelvin Benjamin is actually good, then it's probably just going to be like the same thing as it was last year. So, and I think last year's Panthers offense versus you know, with their defense, I think they could win the game at home against the Lions, but taking a lot of home teams, but you know, who knows? If Stafford plays lights out like the way he did and Calvin Johnson can go off, you never know, but I mean, Carolina should have a better answer for Calvin than the Giants did. So we'll see about that. St. Louis and the Rams, I'll take Bucks in that. The Tampa over the Rams, I mean, my bad. I'll take Tampa over that game. Not going to waste too much time over that. That's like, I mean, the Rams have like a fifth-string quarterback in there. Seattle over Cardinals, that could be a good game. But I just think that Seattle will still win, even though they're on the road. And, you know, Russell Wilson's home record isn't exactly stellar, as we try to run a flea flicker at the end of the game, but we don't get the touchdown here. But, yeah, Russell Wilson's road record isn't too great, but I do think they can pull it off. I do think they have just enough to beat the Chargers. I don't know. I mean, Phillip Rivers is that kind of guy who, you know, will not give a damn about who the Seahawks are and will try and lead his team to win. But I don't know. I just like the Seahawks offense this year. Forget the defense. I just like their offense this year. That's the reason why I'm picking them. I just feel like, you know, as long as Percy stays healthy and stuff like that. I mean, Green Bay is not a good defensive team, but I don't know. I just like the way they look this year. And final thing, Raiders. I'll take the Raiders over the Texans because, like I mentioned before, the Texans win was kind of fluky. And, you know, Texans on the road against the Raiders. The only thing is rookie Derek Carr against another good defense. This time the Texans defense with Watt coming at him and stuff like that. That D-line. I'll still take the Raiders anyways. We'll see how that goes. I mean, I'm not an expert, all right? So don't pin me for being an expert. So, yeah. And then there's Broncos over Chiefs and the Packers over the Jets that I kind of mentioned before. So I think that covers up all the games. Leave a like in the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more Madden 15 games, and I will catch you guys next time.